Good morning, Class 9 English Reader, Book Moments, Chapter 1st, The Lost Child. In our previous video, we get to know about the story. A child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there, but his parents don't buy them for him. Why then does he refuse when someone else offers them to him? We read about the description being given of the way through which the child is moving towards the fair with his parents, seeing the flowering mustard fields on the way, the group of dragonflies, the flowers showering on him as he enters the grove, and the wild capers round the banyan tree. Now, as they reached the village, the child could see many other footpaths full of throngs. Now, the word throngs, I explained you that it refers to densely populated crowd of people converging to the whirlpool of the fair and felt at once repelled. Repelled यानी ऐसा लगा जैसे कोई उसे धकेल रहा है पीछे की तरफ and fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering. A sweet meat seller hawked gulab jamun, rasgulla, barfi, jalebi at the corner of the entrance, and the crowd pressed round his counter at the foot of an architecture of many colored sweets, decorated with leaves of silver and gold. As they entered the fair, at the corner of the entrance was a sweet meat seller shop where the person was shouting the names of the sweets to attract the customers like gulab jamun, rasgulla, barfi, jalebi. And the child saw a crowd pressed round his counter at the foot of the sweets, which were so colorful to see and of different shapes, decorated with leaves of silver and gold. The child stared open-eyed and his mouth watered for the barfi. बर्फ़ी के लिए उसके मुंह में पानी आ गया क्योंकि वो उसकी फेवरेट स्वीट थी और बहुत धीमे से उसने डिमांड की आई वांट दैट बर्फ़ी. बट ही हाफ न्यू, उसे पता था कि अगर वो इस चीज़ के लिए प्लीज़ करेगा, इफ़ ही बेग्स दैट हिज प्ली मतलब है रिक्वेस्ट इन इमोशनल मैनर वुड नॉट बी हीडेड, यानी उसकी जो ये रिक्वेस्ट होगी इमोशनल, इस पर कोई ध्यान नहीं दिया जाएगा. नो बडी वुड पे अटेंशन बिकॉज हिज पेरेंट्स especially his father would say he was greedy, yani lalchi hai. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. A flower seller hawked. As they moved ahead, there was a shop where a flower seller was shouting for, again attracting the customers, a garland of gulmohar, a garland of gulmohar. The child seemed irresistibly drawn. That means the child could not stop himself to get tempted towards that. He went towards the basket where the flowers lay heaped and half murmured. He ran quickly towards the basket where he saw the flowers laying heaped and again he half murmured, I want that garland. But he well knew his parents would refuse. उसे पता था कि उसके parents फिर से refuse करेंगे to buy those flowers for him और इस बार उनका reply होगा कि ये बहुत cheap चीज़ें होती हैं. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. A man stood holding a pole with yellow, red, green, and purple balloons flying from it. As they moved ahead, the child saw a man standing holding a pole with these colorful balloons. The child was simply carried away by the rainbow glory. Now, these colorful balloons are compared to a rainbow. Obviously, we all get attracted to the beauty of the rainbow. So even he was attracted to the silken colors of the balloons and he was filled with an overwhelming desire. Now overwhelming means if anything is happening in a great amount. So he had a desire to possess them all, यानी उसे सारे balloons चाहिए थे. But as usual he knew that his parents won't buy him the balloons और उनका इस बार का reply होगा that you are too old to play with such toys. So he walked on further. A snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake which coiled itself in a basket, its head raised in a graceful bend like the neck of a swan, while the music stole into its invisible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. Now the word rippling means moving in a form of small waves. जिस तरह से waterfall की जो waves होती हैं वो invisible होती हैं. Similarly, the ears of the snake are invisible, but it is seen raising his head in a graceful bend as it seems the music has entered his ears when the snake charmer is playing the flute. The child went towards the snake charmer but knowing his parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music. Coarse मतलब जो rough होता है As the snake charmer played, he proceeded further. He was knowing that उनके parents को ये पसंद नहीं है, so he moved ahead. There was a roundabout in full swing. Men, women, and children carried away in a whirling motion. Whirling means rapid movement, which is going round and round. Shrieked and cried with dizzy laughter. Shrieked word होता है, that is a high pitched sound which is due to मे बी टेरर या डर से होता है या एक्साइटमेंट से होता है, इस तरह का साउंड. एंड क्राइड विद डिजी लाफ्टर. डिजी मीन्स अ सेंसेशन ऑफ स्पिनिंग अराउंड. सो आप समझ सकते हो दैट इट इज़ अ फेयर. वहाँ पे जो ये राइड्स हैं इस तरह की विच इज़ इन अ whirling मोशन, एंड men, women and children are sitting on it and they are shouting with high pitched sound because of excitement, and some maybe they are scared, and with dizzy laughter. Dizzy laughter, that is a sensation of spinning when they are moving in a spinning way. The child watched them intently. Intently means intensity से वो बच्चा उन्हें देख रहा था. And then he made a bold request. This time his request was bold. I want to go on the roundabout, please, father, mother. Now let's see what reply this time his parents would give. There was no reply. He turned to look at his parents. They were not there ahead of him. He turned to look on either side. They were not there. He looked behind. There was no sign of them. That means the parents are missing. A full, deep cry rose within his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood. Suddenly, जब उस बच्चे ने realize किया that he is not able to see his parents on either side, a deep cry rose. वह ज़ोर ज़ोर से रोने लगा और suddenly वो वहाँ से दौड़ा to find them. Crying in real fear, मतलब सच में उसे वो डर था, उसके मन में वो डर बैठ गया था कि maybe he has lost his parents. Mother, father, tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce. Fierce means aggressiveness जो होती है ना, that is the meaning. His flushed face was convulsed. Now the word flushed means red and hot, getting strong with those like he was crying. It's a kind of emotion. And face was convulsed with fear. Convulsed is like violent, got violent with fear. Panic stricken, he ran to one side first, then to the other, hither, thither, in all directions, knowing not where to go. उसे समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि वो कहाँ अपने पेरेंट्स को सर्च करे. He was running in all directions, getting panic, but he couldn't do anything. He wailed. Wailed means again a high pitched sound for a long time, like he's crying since the moment he realized that his parents are not with him. His yellow turban came untied and his clothes became muddy. उसका जो येलो टर्बन पहना हुआ था, बिकॉज ही वॉज रनिंग हियर एंड देयर टू फाइंड हिज पेरेंट्स, बट ही वॉज नॉट गेटिंग देम. ही वॉज वेरी मच पैनिक एंड वरीड अबाउट देम. सो इन दैट रनिंग हिज टर्बन गॉट अनटाइड एंड हिज क्लोथ्स बिकेम muddy. Now in our next video we'll see what the story tells us, what happened next. Till then you read till here, and if you have any confusion, any queries, let me know in the feedback in our WhatsApp group. Till then, thank you class.